Welcome back, guys. Andrew here with another stimulus update. We're going to cover when you should receive that $2,000 stimulus check, if you'll receive an additional $2,000 for dependents, and when you should receive that $300 unemployment boost, depending on what specific state you're in. Now, before we get into it, please hit the like button if you like this content. Please subscribe. I post updates almost daily. Also, don't forget to click the link in the description. You'll get 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. Okay, before we get into stimulus, we need to talk about what happened yesterday. And let me know in the comments, do you think all of that was Trump's fault? Or do you disagree and think that that was just a small group of vigilantes or even Antifa trying to make Trump look bad? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. In any case, top Democrat officials are slamming Trump and even calling for him to be impeached. And Mark Zuckerberg even banned Trump from Facebook. Trump is indefinitely banned from Facebook until further notice. Of course, Twitter also banned him for 12 hours. Let's see what Mark Zuckerberg had to say. The shocking events of the last 24 hours clearly demonstrate that President Donald Trump intends to use his remaining time in office to undermine the peaceful and lawful transition of power to his elected successor, Joe Biden. His decision to use his platform to condone rather than condemn the actions of his supporters at the Capitol building has rightly disturbed people in the U.S. and around the world. We removed these statements yesterday because we judge that their effect are negative, and Trump is indefinitely banned from Facebook until the transition of power is complete. Holy smokes, guys. Mark Zuckerberg himself made a statement and banned Trump from Facebook. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Whether you vote Democrat or Republican, do you think it's okay for social media companies to ban people like Trump or other government officials if they disagree with what they're saying? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is one reason why Trump wanted to repeal Section 230, because if that is repealed, Trump could then sue Facebook for blocking him like they're doing. But let's see what Bernie had to say. The man directly responsible for the chaos of today is Donald Trump, who has made it clear that he will do anything to remain in power, including insurrection and inciting violence. Trump will go down in history as the worst and most dangerous president in history. My goodness, really strong words from Bernie. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you agree with Bernie. We all know that Bernie has been one of the main proponents of getting these massive stimulus checks approved, but I know a lot of you might disagree with him on this one. And it's not just Bernie. Chuck Schumer, right? Now the Senate Majority Leader, now that McConnell has lost that power in the Senate, Chuck Schumer has called for Trump to either be impeached or to invoke the 25th Amendment, which would then put Pence as acting president for the next 2 weeks until Biden is inaugurated. Now, I won't go too deep into it, but the 25th Amendment, basically, in order for that to work, the majority of Trump's cabinet, so the majority of Trump's self-appointed workers, would have to say, you know what, Trump is not fit to serve in office. And they would basically have to vote him out with a majority vote. That is unlikely to happen, but if that doesn't happen, then Schumer wants to then impeach Trump. This would be more of a symbolic situation. Obviously, Trump only has 2 weeks left in office, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's see what Trump had to say on Twitter. Of course, he was banned for 12 hours. That 12 hours has passed. It's not clear if his ban has been lifted. He hasn't posted on Twitter. His last 2 tweets were removed. If you see his Twitter, those last 2 tweets are not there anymore. And the previous tweet said, "I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you." So in that tweet, Trump was urging his supporters to remain peaceful and go home if they have enacted violence. But he then went on to keep tweeting and posting on Facebook more things contesting the results of the election, at which point he was banned from Twitter and Facebook, because these social media companies were saying that although Trump is saying, you know what, go home, be peaceful, at the same time, he continues to kind of stoke the anger and almost indirectly encourage people to do this by making them more upset. Guys, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Trump handled this well, or do you think he handled this poorly? And again, do you think it's his fault? Let's see what's going on in Washington, D.C. this morning and what things look like now, the morning after this chaos.
Beck at the Capitol covering the aftermath of this riot. Good morning.
Good morning. It is a much different scene here today than the chaos we saw erupting here yesterday. It is all quiet and all clear at the Capitol, and there is an enormous police presence this morning on every corner surrounding the Capitol. State police, National Guard, D.C. police, Capitol police are now out in full force with a very quiet, very secure Capitol. D.C. is still under curfew until 6 a.m. this morning. That started at 6 p.m. last night. Given all of yesterday's events, the city looks eerily quiet. You can't travel more than a few blocks in the city right now without hitting a barricade or a police vehicle with blue and red lights flashing. They are taking this threat extremely seriously, despite the fact that it seems for now to be diffused. But given what happened yesterday, the illegal activity at the Capitol, police say their work is far from done. Now, there were 52 arrests made, but they say they are still looking for a lot of the illegal actors that...
Okay, so it looks like the majority of people who broke into the Capitol got away, because it was said that there was hundreds of people in there, but only 52 people were arrested. And currently things seem to be peaceful in DC, but police and Secret Service has been ramped up, and they have barricades on every other block. I mean, people were in the Capitol with guns, with knives, and there was even bombs reported to be outside the Capitol. But guys, with that said, let's jump right into stimulus. Biden said as soon as Senate Democrats win those 2 seats, they will send out these $2,000 checks immediately. So when can we expect to receive them? Will we receive an additional $2,000 for dependents? And what is it going to take to have them fully approved in the Senate? We're going to cover all of this, and then I'm also going to cover expected payment dates for that $300 unemployment boost for your specific state. Well, Biden is set to be inaugurated on January 20th. And because of that, the Senate cannot formally present a bill until that day. Now, they are expected to move swiftly and have a formal bill written and proposed the very day that Biden is inaugurated. And they are expected to, on that same day, and at the very least the next day, approve it in the House, approve it in the Senate, and then take it to Biden to have it approved. Now, will it include an extra $2,000 for dependents? That is still unclear. Now, we should have updates in the next week or two on whether or not you'll get an additional $2,000 for dependents. Again, that's still not clear. Pelosi and Biden have not commented on that, but I will have updates on that daily. So don't forget to subscribe. I'll keep you updated on the exact amounts of that third stimulus check. And also, just to clarify, we're still not sure if this will be an additional $2,000 or an additional $1,400, which would bring it to $2,000 total, including the last stimulus check. Now, personally, if I had to make a guess, I would think they're going to make it a full $2,000, because they've said $2,000. They've clearly said $2,000. So I think they're going to keep that word and just approve another round of $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, what can Mitch McConnell and Republicans do to try and block this in the Senate? Because everyone's saying, well, Democrats have complete control. They have complete control of the House. They have complete control of the Senate. Well, it's true, they do. They have majority control, but honestly not complete control. So let me clarify this. These $2,000 checks, they will pass the House, okay? And then they will pass the Senate with a majority vote. Democrats will get at least a 50 vote, and then Kamala Harris will be that tiebreaker. But Mitch McConnell does have one final trick up his sleeve that he can try and use to block these $2,000 stimulus checks. And we all know that is a filibuster. If Republicans go on stage, go to the floor, and just continue to debate continuously for days, that is a filibuster, and that could be their only attempt to try and block these checks, right? But will it happen? Will they even try that? Honestly, I'm not sure they'll even try that, because that would be a really aggressive move, right? And again, they've blocked these checks before, but to then take it to the point where they're actually willing to filibuster the $2,000 checks, that is a really bad political move, because that would make Mitch McConnell and Republicans look even worse. Like, okay, we get it. You didn't want $2,000 checks, right? You didn't bring it to a vote, but now you're even willing to filibuster it. A filibuster is an extreme political move, and that would make them look really bad if they're willing to do so. So best case scenario here, Mitch McConnell does not try and filibuster, and we get these $2,000 checks sent the very last week of January, okay? So best case scenario, our estimated payment date for these $2,000 checks would be about January 26th, about a week after Biden is inaugurated. Okay, now, worst case scenario, if McConnell tries to filibuster this, Democrats can still override that filibuster with two ways. One, if they can get 60 people in the Senate to vote to override that filibuster, they will completely override Mitch and get that done. Now, can they get 60 votes? Well, they're going to have 50 already from the Democrats, right? So they only need about 10 from Republicans. And there's already 5 or 6 Republicans on record saying that they would vote to approve these $2,000 stimulus checks. So that means we'd need about 5 or 6 more Republicans willing to switch vote to then override Mitch McConnell's filibuster. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, hopefully he won't even try and filibuster, but if he does, Democrats can still try and override it. And then if Democrats cannot get those 60 votes, Democrats can actually change the legislation. They can actually change the law, which says, hey, you know what? You don't need 60 votes to override a filibuster. You only need 55. They can do that because they control the Senate and they have the power to change those rules. However, that is also a bad political move because it sets a bad precedent to change rules like that. And it also could come back to bite them in the butt down the road when Republicans control the Senate as well. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think McConnell will actually try and filibuster these $2,000 checks? Again, I personally don't think he would take it that far, but we never know. And not only this stimulus package is expected to be the massive stimulus package we've been hearing about, right? It's not just expected to be $2,000 checks. It should be an extension of the unemployment boost at $600. Biden has been on record as supporting those $600 per week unemployment boosts. He is also expected to include $200 per month for those on Social Security, as well as student loan forgiveness. It's not yet clear if that student loan forgiveness will be included in the stimulus bill or if that will be a separate bill, but it's been speculated that that will be either $10,000 or $50,000 in student loan forgiveness. Of course, he is also going to extend the eviction moratorium, extend the mortgage forbearance, student loan forbearance, as well as more money for rental assistance, guys. But I will have updates daily on exactly when that $2,000 check is being sent. Don't forget to subscribe. Now let's cover that $600 stimulus check, how to track your payments, and when you should receive that $300 unemployment boost as well, depending on what state you're in. Well, good news. The IRS.gov website is up and running. So you can go to irs.gov, get my payments. Remember, only use the official .gov website. Go in there, put your information in, and you should be able to track your stimulus check. Now, a lot of people's Get My Payment is saying payment status not available. Now, the IRS has come out and said just yesterday that if your status says status not available, you most likely will have to get your stimulus check when you file your taxes. I know the government cannot do anything right. Not only did they send these stimulus checks out late, now a lot of people will not even be getting them until they file their taxes. So go ahead and go to irs.gov, get my payments, and if it says status not available, keep checking your mail, but there is a good chance that you will then have to file your taxes and ask your tax preparer to then get you that stimulus check retroactively, guys. I know that's really bad news, really frustrating. People literally need this money now just to pay their rents, but of course it continues to be delayed. And not only that, if you did your taxes last year through H&R Block or TurboTax, there is a 50-50 chance that your payment was delayed, meaning that it's sitting there with H&R Block and they're trying to process it and send it to you. So the best thing you can do is if you filed your taxes with H&R Block or with TurboTax last year, reach out to them, reach out to your tax preparer and ask them if they have your stimulus check, okay? And if they don't, then most likely at this point you're going to have to wait until you file your taxes. Again, you might check your portal, your irs.gov Get My Payment portal, and it could say it's on its way. But this is for people who have a status that says status payment not available, okay? Now, what about that $300 unemployment boost, okay? When is that coming? We're going to go state by state, okay? We have a lot of states that have already begun paying. We have estimated payment dates for the majority of other states, and then some states we still do not have estimated payment dates. But guys, please subscribe. I'm going to update you daily on exactly when your state is paying that unemployment boost. So Alabama began paying today, January 7th. Alaska, we still do not have estimated payment dates. Arizona started this week, the week of January 3rd. Arkansas, we still don't have estimated payment dates. California, they began paying the week of January 3rd. Colorado, we still don't have estimated payment dates. Connecticut, they began paying this week, the week of January 3rd. Delaware, DC, Florida, we still do not have estimated payment dates. Georgia began paying this week, the week of January 2nd. Hawaii, we still don't have estimated payment dates. Idaho began paying this week as well. Illinois began paying this week. Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana still do not have estimated payment dates. Maine began paying this week, the week of January 2nd. Maryland began paying this week as well. They just began paying 2 days ago, January 5th. Massachusetts and Michigan, we still don't have estimated payment dates. Minnesota started paying the week of January 3rd just a few days ago. Mississippi started paying this week as well. Missouri, Montana, and Nebraska, we still don't have estimated payment dates. Nevada, January 6th. New Hampshire, January 5th. New Jersey started paying will start paying the week of January 10th. So New Jersey will start paying next week. New Mexico, we still don't have estimated payment dates. New York began paying this week, the week of January 3rd. North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Pennsylvania still do not have estimated payment dates. Rhode Island began paying this week, the week of January 3rd. South Carolina and South Dakota still do not have estimated payment dates. Tennessee began paying this week, the week of January 3rd. Texas began paying this week as well. Utah, Vermont, and Virginia still don't have estimated payment dates. Washington will begin paying between now and January 15th. They kind of gave a wide range of dates there, but they should begin paying the latest the week of January 15th in Washington. West Virginia began paying this week as well, January 3rd, and Wisconsin and Wyoming still do not have estimated payment dates. So again, guys, please subscribe. I will keep you posted daily on your state's payment dates, and let us know in the comments if you received your payments yet. Guys, before we end this video, I want to cover a quick update on not just stimulus checks, but what other things Biden is expected to do. Now that Democrats swept both the House, the Senate, and the White House, they call that a blue wave, right? They have a lot of power to get a lot done. Like I said earlier, Mitch McConnell can still try and filibuster things, and he has some ways to block things that Democrats try and pass. But for the most part, Democrats are going to get a lot done. So what does Biden plan to do? Well, of course, $2,000 stimulus checks, a $600 per week unemployment boost, student loan forgiveness, more money for rental assistance. We know all the things for stimulus, but what else is he expected to do? Well, he wants to do things with taxes. A lot of people are scared that he's going to raise taxes, so we'll talk about that in just a second. He also wants to make some changes with the healthcare policy. He wants to make healthcare more affordable for more people, and he also wants to include some level of student loan forgiveness, guys. So let me know in the comments if you like these ideas. Let's cover them in slight detail really quick before we end this video. Now, a lot of people are worried about him raising taxes. However, Biden has stated that he only wants to raise taxes on those who have a household income of $400,000 per year or more. Okay? So that should not affect the majority of people, right? But he has also promised to repeal Trump's 2017 tax cuts, which might affect some middle-income earners who saw some benefits from that bill. Which means if you're a middle-class individual, you might see a slight increase in your taxes, but only back to what they were right before Trump. So this wouldn't be like a massive increase, but a 1 or 2% increase on you. But those who make over $400,000 per year would start to see a significant increase in their taxes. Guys, but let me know your thoughts in the comments on Biden's tax plan. That's just a high-level overview. I'll do another video later in the week covering this in more detail. But he also wants to reform healthcare a little bit. Now, a lot of Democrats are pushing for Medicare for all. Bottom line, you guys, that's not going to happen, okay? It doesn't have enough support even from Democrats. But Biden does want to lower the age requirements to 60. Now, currently, you have to be 65 to get Medicare. Now, Biden wants to lower that to 60, and he also wants to subsidize healthcare for those who can't afford it. And he basically, bottom line here, he wants to cap your cost of healthcare to 8.5% of your annual income. Now, that would help those who are most affected by healthcare costs, right? People who end up in the hospital, people who have really high drug costs, who can't afford these medications. Now, that's the one area where he might be able to pass reform, because both Democrats and Republicans, for the most part, agree that drug costs do have to be lowered. Of course, Trump has already begun working on that, and Biden wants to continue that. Student loan debt. Biden wants to forgive between $10,000 and $50,000 in student loan debt. Now, there's been a lot of reports that he might do this through executive order, and a lot of liberal Democrats have been pushing him to do this. That way, Republicans cannot block this in the Senate. However, Biden does not want to do this. He has signaled that he might be willing to do this, but he prefers not to. He doesn't want Republicans to feel like he's bypassing them. He wants, for the most part, to do things on a bipartisan level. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. If Republicans block that student loan debt relief, he might be willing to use executive order, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, here is a huge one, guys. The federal minimum wage. Biden is on record as saying he wants to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour. It's currently, I believe, $7.50 per hour. Now, let me know in the comments, guys, do you agree with raising minimum wage to $15 per hour? Personally, I like it. I think everyone should get a living wage. Now, that being said, I understand that it's controversial. Some people say, you know what? If you raise minimum wage, how am I supposed to run my business if I have to pay someone $15 an hour for the simple job that they, some people think they shouldn't be getting paid that much because it's hard to run a business. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But in general, I feel like the far majority of people would benefit from this. However, in order to get this done, he needs 60 votes in the Senate, which means he will need some Republicans to vote for this as well, guys. But that's kind of the bottom line on what Biden wants to do, not only with stimulus, but with the minimum wage, with student loans, and healthcare as well. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. I will have updates daily on that $2,000 stimulus check, on the $600 unemployment boost, as well as when you can expect to receive that smaller $300 unemployment boost, depending on what state you're in. Guys, if you made it this far into my video, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really means the world to me, and I really do appreciate every single view. My thoughts go out to each and every one of you during this hardship. I've had so many comments from people who truly deserve that help, and if you're watching this video, you're probably going through a difficult season in your life. Just know that you will get through this, and you will be in a better place. Stay strong out there, and keep taking steps towards a better tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.